Welcome to Wog's Kitchen. On today's episode we have an Afghan dish called Mastawa, which consists of short grain rice, chickpeas and lamb. Over here we have a bone, one lamb neck and 1.2 kilos of lamb shoulder with the bone on. Got onions, short grain rice, chickpeas and garlic. So first I'm just going to wash my chickpeas just to make sure there's no stuff in them. To boiling water I'm going to add my chickpeas and allow them to soak for an hour, and then I'll cook it on low heat for 3 hours. Over here I've got 2.5 cups of short grain rice. Now I'm going to wash my rice a few times just to get all the starchiness out of it, and then I will let this rice soak for about 2 to 3 hours minimum. So with the 4 onions, I am going to slice up the onions into thin long slices. And next is the garlic. I'm just going to mince that up and keep it on side for later. I'm going to add half a cup of oil and fry my onions long enough just till they lose their shape. As this is a long cooking process, the whole process of this meal takes roughly about 2.5 hours. So first I add my bone. What I do here is I fry one side of the bone until it changes color. So because I don't really want the onions to cook at the moment, I've gathered the onions onto one side. In about 5 minutes time I flip it over to make sure that you cook the other side. So all pink visibility is no longer visible. This part takes about 5 to 10 minutes, not long at all, especially if you're cooking it on a high heat. Just making sure all bones are no longer pink. And now I mix the onion and the bone together. And I'm going to add the second part, which is a more tougher meat, of the lamb neck. I've only used one lamb neck here. And the same concept here is I'm going to fry it off for about 5 to 10 minutes until there's no longer visible pink left onto the meat. As you can see here. So now third step is after that is now I'll add the lamb shoulder, and the same concept as well. I'm going to fry it off for about 5 to 10 minutes until there's no longer visible pink anymore on the meat. I have added about 4 cloves and 1.5 tablespoons of salt. You can adjust your salt level later on to less or more, but if you put more at the start you can't take it off later on. So as you can see there's no longer pink visible, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my garlic and fry that off for about 2 minutes. And the next ingredient I'm going to add here is 2 teaspoons of turmeric, and I'm going to cover it, make sure all the meat is covered and the turmeric is dissolved. Anytime you use turmeric directly to a pan like this and frying it off, you have to quickly move it around, otherwise the turmeric does like to stick to the bottom of the pan. So I'm now adding 2 to 3 liters of boiling water. You just need enough to cover the meat. And now after this we're going to cook it for about 1.5 to 2 hours. I'm continuously going to keep on checking on it. If you think your meat or water is drying up, you can add another liter or so. but that's only if you're using this much quantity. If you're not, the 2 litre mark should be enough to about 1 kilo of meat. This roughly takes about two hours to cook, just to see how long it takes depending on how tender your meat is. Now my meat is tender, so I am removing the bones because I no longer need them. So the chickpeas that I had been cooking on a low heat, I'm now going to add the chickpeas to this dish. But I don't know if you noticed, I also added the chickpea water as well. Traditionally, you're supposed to add the chickpeas raw and cook it on a low heat, but that will take a few hours. I added my soaked short grain rice, and I'm now going to keep stirring this till the rice and thickens the stew or soup. Not sure if this is a stew or a soup. I think it could be both. So to here I've only added a teaspoon of dry coriander powder and 2 teaspoons of black pepper, and that's it. Literally turmeric, salt, coriander and black pepper. Most people don't even put the coriander in, but I like a little bit. And that's it, we're basically done. So I'm just going to garnish this meal. I've added a couple of tomatoes pieces, obviously, 2 slices of chili. I'm going to add a little bit of dry mint, fresh coriander and a piece of dill. Traditionally, you don't add any coriander, the fresh or the dill or the dry mint. It's eaten like that, but I'm not traditional. And that's it, guys. That's how you make mastawa. I hope if you do make it, I hope you do enjoy it. It is a very nice, warm, hearty dish, especially in cold weathers. I also just wanted to add, we are all very, very saddened of what's happening in Afghanistan today. And we do wish our brothers and sisters who are there in Afghanistan a long and peaceful life. And we hope that we can help them as much as we can. May long live Afghanistan. Thanks guys, until next time, hope you have a good day.